Are we recording?
Yes, I think we're recording. Welcome to the Let Me Know That You Know podcast. I'm Dustin, aka Mr. Coin Laundry.
And I'm Mandy, aka Truly Mandalee.
How are you? How are you doing?
I'm good. I have a long weekend. I know you unfortunately do not.
I do not have a long weekend, no. I have to work.
Maybe double pay?
I doubt it.
No, I think they have to.
I don't know about that.
Legally, I think they have to.
Well,
So they gotta follow them
I'll
laws.
agree to disagree. Yeah.
I wonder if you can hear me itching my face.
What happened in this past week? What have we been doing?
What happened in this past week? I had my first time going back into office kind of life.
Oof.
We had to travel for a meeting. It was a few hours each way, but it was, I'm not looking forward to it. We're moving back to office life, so that'll be fun.
That'll suck.
The only good part is we get to drive together.
That's true.
That's nice.
I now work literally right across the street from where your building is.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's the only highlight to that, is that we get bonus time.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I beat Resident Evil 8 last night. That was an experience. That was wild. I won't spoil anything, but that was wild.
I watched. He showed me the important parts, and it kind of blows you away.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Game of the year, and also
I would love it if Resident Evil got Game of the Year. I'll be honest.
This
with
one
you.
deserves Game of the Year. I mean, they all kind of deserved it, but this one, what else has come out? Nothing else deserves this. I mean, that's mean, but Resident Evil 8.
I'm trying to think of what's come out recently.
It Takes Two.
It Takes Two, but I wouldn't put that as a Game of the Year game.
No.
I would say Parenting 101 game. Don't do what they do. Maybe game, but
Resident Evil 8 definitely deserves it.
But what else has come out this year? I feel like there was a big game.
Things I can't remember.
I know Cyberpunk came out in November, and
that's not gonna win Game of the Year.
No, that's been rough.
I
feel bad for them.
I didn't have any of the issues that other people were having.
Which is shocking because our PS4 is an OG PS4.
Yeah.
We got it release day.
I want to say
not the Pro, OG, go back to the beginning.
I could be wrong, but I want to say it probably has something to do with the fact that we have an external hard drive, and I don't know how many people have that.
A lot.
They're probably pushing it to the most.
In fact, I think it had something to do with storing on the external.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't had any issues.
I know. I don't get it. I don't know why we haven't had issues, but we haven't, and I will be happy for that.
Yeah, I would like to finish that at some point, but so many other things drew my attention away, like Control.
Yeah, well, I think my thought was, I played a little bit, I didn't play a ton of it. My thought was I wanted to wait until they patched it up.
Oh, yeah.
And, get a fully positive experience, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know if they'll do that.
But
they're, dragging their feet.
I was about to say, from what I've seen, they still haven't fixed everything yet.
They're acting like they're just going to call it a loss, from what I can tell.
That sucks.
I mean,
the game itself seems fine. It's just the glitches that make it kind of meh.
Take that with a grain of salt because, I don't know, but just the way that they talk and their actions are showing me that they don't care. Is it
what's it called?
It's not even the people who worked on it.
No, it's not their fault.
It's the heads.
Yeah, they give them a timeline and they have to try their best to make it work, and it's a shitty situation all around.
Yeah.
Because then they get the pressure. They give these dates, then they get the pressure from the fans, right? Because they've been given a date.
And I'm so upset because I love that game, and I'm almost at the end. I think I'm pretty close, but just the fact that it crashed and fucked up so much on everyone else's consoles and stuff. It's been hated on so much, and like they had something going for it, and then it just.
Question on that. Is that one that was offering a free upgrade to the 5? Do you know?
Oh, I have no idea. I think so, and I'm scared. I'm scared if I do that.
It ran fine on the 5.
Because, like, it's going so well on my PS4, and I'm scared if I patch it to the 5,
it's downloading.
Break.
It's downloading a whole separate copy of the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then I think it is an upgrade to the 5.
Okay. I'll have to see.
Because I definitely haven't seen the discs anywhere.
Yeah.
And because usually when there's not like a free upgrade or whatever, there's not a disc.
They built it for the next gen and then just kind of forgot about making it for the current gen.
Yeah.
Especially, on a game that's been in development for so long. I don't know that that's true, but that's the story they told.
Here's the story. Speaking of, I really need to get the complete edition of Control.
Yes.
I have been wanting to play this DLC for it for a while now.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to like tie into Alan Wake, and Alan Wake was one of my all-time favorites. Even though I've lost my copy somewhere, I have no idea where it is. I don't know,
and I'm shocked because I swear to God I've seen it within the last 2 years, we'll say.
And I feel like I had another 360 game that's missing too, and I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll turn up eventually. Probably after you buy a new copy.
Probably.
Isn't that just the way?
I don't know what I'm gonna stream next, but Resident Evil 8 was fun and amazing.
I would, again, like I said, I would love to see Resident Evil as a game of the year.
Yeah.
I would love that.
I would love.
I don't know if the remakes have done that.
I don't know if remakes can be made game of the year.
I don't know.
I don't know if that falls into the category because technically it came out. I mean, I know they rebuilt it and everything, but technically it came out.
They
years
reworked
ago.
it.
People would be very upset.
Yeah.
I think if a remake won Game of the Year.
Well, poo-poo on them. I've been upset about their Game of the Years before. I didn't throw a fit about it.
I remember one year.
Hasn't like Call of Duty won Game of the Year?
I'm sure it has one time. I remember one year. I think Skyrim had come out or something, and somebody was like, one of our friends, I was at my brother Jacob's house, and one of our friends was just like, it's going to be Halo, it's going to be Halo. I'm like, it's not going to be Halo, dude, it's going to be fucking Skyrim, are you shitting me? And he was like, it's going to be Halo, it's going to be Halo, and then it was Skyrim, and I was kind of a dick about it. But, I'm like, it's not going to be Halo 4 or whatever it was.
No, I don't know, okay. Me, never played Halo, not a Halo I didn't have an Xbox, so it didn't matter, but, I guess, I don't remember people being like, oh my gosh.
Well, all the Xbox fans were obsessed with Halo.
Did they like it?
Yeah, they liked it.
Okay.
Well, they liked 3, but I don't even think 4 was out yet. Okay. I can't remember the timelines.
Okay.
Especially
whatever Halo game came around the same
Especially
time.
since Skyrim has expanded over like 3 consoles.
Mm-hmm.
3 generations, I mean.
I still think it's wild you can play. Right, it came out on the Switch.
Yeah, it came out on the Switch. It has a VR too somewhere.
Yeah.
I want to say either PS.
I think PSVR has it.
Yeah. God, like, it's been like, I don't want to say 10 years. It's been a long time since they released a new Elder Scrolls. They just kind of went with Elder Scrolls Online and went, yeah, there it is.
That's why it felt like it wasn't that long. I'm like...
Because Elder Scrolls Online
because they were releasing
Skyrim kept getting re-released.
That's true. Well, that, I was never... I mean, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
But it just...
But...
If they weren't releasing something new... Yeah. I guess I would have felt more like salty about it if they just kept doing it. But for the people that didn't play Elder Scrolls Online, like, I'm sure they're salty.
But everyone is like talking about like Grand Theft Auto 5 being on multiple generations, and no one's saying anything about Skyrim.
No one says a word.
Yeah.
We've all just agreed. You know what? I want to see it on every new console. It's fine.
But they're just really milking Grand Theft Auto 5 for all it's worth, especially the online.
They have online, money transactions go off. I guess.
I don't know, man. Release 6. Do the online. For that.
I never play Grand Theft Auto Online. It brings no value to me because I've heard how shitty the online community is. So I'm like, I really just don't want anything to do with it.
Me and my brothers, what we do is we get online, and then we all keep like reloading levels until I hope they don't patch it. I doubt they'll listen to this, but until it glitches, and like we're in an area where it's just us and no one else ever pops in.
Yeah.
Like ever. And then you can do your missions.
Yeah,
and you can have
because
fun
it's bullshit.
Well, there are
I
these
get
kids who spent like $50 of their parents' money so that they can.
The shade.
It's children. I know it's children. I hear them fucking shouting obscenities into my ear. I can hear how young they are, and they should not be playing Grand Theft Auto. Anyways, they spend like...
That's cute that you would say that.
$50. Well,
I was like 10 when I was playing Grand Theft Auto.
I was young too, but you know what?
I never had any desire, though, to play online.
But they spend $50 of their parents' money, maybe more.
I'm sure more.
Because I think it's like $70 or something to be able to get enough points to buy the jetpack that just destroys everything. Not the jetpack, the jet bike. That just destroys everything. And they just go around fucking ruining everyone's time while they're trying to do their missions and have fun.
Can you make like a private lobby or something?
Not if you want to do the missions.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. So the people that do like the Grand Theft Auto like role play or whatever, that aren't like necessarily doing missions, they're just dicking around or
There's
whatever.
a lot of like restrictions on private, and it's like
maybe if they did anything, it would just be making that so it's not, you can't advance anything.
Yeah. Well, it's just like, it's really fun to have your little drug empire or whatever. And then you can't do that on private. You can't do anything on private. You can only just drive around, and that gets old. Yeah,
well, of course. You want to play the game.
Yeah. And, like, the online games are fun. It's fun to do all the missions and stuff, but...
Or even if they just implemented PvP or PvE kind of server system setup. You know what I mean? Like every other online game.
No, God forbid.
I'm like, I feel like it can't be that hard. Because I'm sure, I mean, clearly they already have servers.
I think
so why would it be that hard to go, this one it's PvE, so only your whatever missions you...
Well, they encourage that kind of behavior.
Yeah, because it's Grand Theft Auto.
They encourage that kind of behavior. They set it up to where, like, randomly a character or a player in the world will be a target. The game will be like...
but that could be fun if you want that.
Yeah. There's like a bounty that will randomly be put on one player or whatever.
Again, fun if that's part of the experience that you want. If it's not...
And it's like, it's so upsetting because I just want to have fun with like Glenn and them. I just want to
have fun with your loved ones?
My loved ones. Shout out Ice Cube. Anyways,
I'm not linking Ice Cube.
What?
I'm not linking Ice Cube.
Linking Ice Cube?
Linking.
Because
I've been
you should link Ice Cube. Everyone needs to know about Ice Cube. There's people out there who don't know Ice Cube and they need to be educated. Anyways.
I'm sure Ice Cube is doing just fine.
Ice Cube is a rapper who was in NWA. And he created the movie Friday that y'all like to say Bye Felicia came from.
Bye Felicia.
Anyways. But yeah, there's like a whole thing where you can be a biker gang, and that's fun, but not when other people are ruining.
Not when other people are there.
Yeah.
But no, I feel like it wouldn't be that hard because I can see where that would be like fun if that's what you're wanting to do.
Yeah.
But you should have the option to go, I want to be on a PvP server if you want to do that.
Yeah.
That's annoying when you don't want that.
Yeah.
I've never been like a fan of the PvP servers. So,
Me
like,
neither.
I would be like, get me out.
It just brings me back to, like, RuneScape days.
Oh, my God.
When you just start for the first time and you're innocent and you're just like, I'm going to have fun and everyone is a good person. And then
one's a good person.
Someone shows up to the noob area all dressed to the nines and all the, like, high
the trappings of RuneScape wealth.
And they're like, hey, I'll help you out. Just follow me. And you follow them like a simpleton. And they take you into the PvP area and just fucking wreck you. They wreck your shit.
I didn't talk to anyone. If someone tried to talk to me and I didn't know them, I didn't say anything.
I hate...
You're so innocent.
That... This is why I have trust issues now. Because of RuneScape.
You trusted too liberally. You were just passing out your trust to anyone.
Because in RuneScape, someone betrayed my trust. This is why I have trust issues.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That game was a whole cultural experience.
Literally, I never made it past like the beginning. I did download it. I did download it on Steam, which is so embarrassing.
Oh my god, I want to play it again, but
okay, well then maybe we need to play it together because I didn't get it when I was a kid. I was like, I think I got stuck in the beginning areas.
It's a whole like.
I was a dumb like kid.
Me too. I'm still a dumb adult.
But you
But
are not.
it was a whole thing. Because, like, it's a bunch of kids,
Mm-hmm.
right? Kids to, like, teenagers or whatever.
Right.
And it was just...
The ones that couldn't afford WoW is really what RuneScape was for.
It was free.
Uh-huh.
It was a whole experience. And if you know, you know. Because it was, like, these fucking kids running around typing out, like, 10 gold to be my girlfriend or something like that.
And all the boys went, oh, yeah, I'll be your girlfriend. And then you have me, who is a girl, and went, I'm not talking to anyone. Unless I know you, I'm not talking to you.
It's just a whole thing. That and Gaia Online, cultural experience.
I never play Gaia Online.
It's like when you talk about Facade, if you know, you know.
Oh my
Melons.
God. Melons.
I think it's time for you to leave.
He got so mad.
He did get so mad. He got angry. And if you say it before...
He just slams the door in your face.
He doesn't say anything. He just shuts the door.
Your friendship is over.
Your friendship is over because you said melons.
And
you
then
imagine?
Probably their marriage.
Could you...
You're not there to fix it.
No, you're not there to... Could you imagine, like, if I went over to Jacob's house and he opened the door and I just said boobs and he just shut the door and never talked to me ever again?
Jacob. Slam.
Oh my god. Keeping in with the theme of us having a Robert Pattinson fan podcast, Marvel is hard up for my boy. Marvel reportedly really wants Robert Pattinson to be in a Marvel movie now.
Well, way to go, sucker. You waited too long.
and I mean, he signed...
You had to know he was gold before he was gold, baby.
He signed an overall deal with Warner Brothers now, so
Yeah.
It's like, there's nothing you can do. He's Batman. And they really love that he's Batman, apparently, because they're, like, doing everything they can to keep him.
I love that he's Batman, and
Me
he
too.
deserves it.
But the interesting thing is, and take this with a huge grain of salt, because you know how the rumor mill is on the internet. People are saying that Disney is looking to buy DC now. Probably because they want presents.
I'm so angry.
Disney went, fuck you. I'll buy your boss.
They won't even just buy DC. No, they'll go one up and buy Warner Brothers.
I don't know if they can do that, can they?
They bought, Fox, they bought everything.
Well, I feel like at a certain point, there's the monopoly law.
I think, honest to God, with the way companies are buying out companies, it's like they threw that out the window and they just don't enforce it anymore. Because the amount of companies that aren't owned by a big conglomerate parent company at the top, there are only like a very small number of companies left.
Yeah.
That aren't owned by somebody at the top.
It's wild though. We love to see it. Everyone wants Robert Pattz. He's the belle of the ball.
He is the belle of the ball.
Speaking of DC, there's going to be a Sandman show.
I did see that. I saw the casting.
Very excited about that. Because I love Sandman.
You know, I saw the casting.
Uh-huh.
And it's all gone out my brain. Oh, Clara from Doctor Who is going to be in it.
Oh, yeah?
I think.
Clara?
I think that was the casting I saw.
Who was Clara?
Okay, you know 12.
Yes.
His companion.
Oh.
The, like, dark-haired girl.
Oh, well, that makes sense. I think it's mostly... I mean,
Jenna Coleman.
I could be wrong, but I think it's mostly, like, British people.
Yeah.
I mean, Neil Gaiman, I think, is British.
I think so.
But good for Neil Gaiman too. Like he's got Good Omen out there as a show.
From the part, whatever we watched of it, it was very good.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Now
I love David Tennant.
Yeah,
I will lay this out. David Tennant. This is a David Tennant podcast as well. We love him.
I'm just gonna say this, not that most people care, but I did design a future villain character around David Tennant.
I appreciate that.
For Squeegee. He's called the 3D Man.
Alright. Oh, with the glasses?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's going to be like an SCP kind of thing.
That's cool.
Really creepy.
That's cool. I like it.
Squeegee, I feel like it's really weird, and people are going to think it's really weird because it jumps back and forth between funny and really weird and creepy.
That's good, though.
Yeah.
That's my kind of energy.
It's like, some days I'm like, I'll make a funny comic, and some days I'm like, we're going to get serious now, and you're going to cry. Fuck you.
There's no in between. Well, I cried at the end of Resident Evil 8.
Oh my god. Spoilers. No, I'm just kidding.
That doesn't tell anyone a damn thing.
Speaking of Resident Evil 8, we're all out here simping for Lady Dimitrescu, and I get it. But my boy Heisenberg...
There's a point where he, like, pushes you, and it was so funny. We both had the same reaction. He went, Daddy? And he was showing me the replay of his playthrough last night. And I literally, when he did it, I was like, Daddy?
Oh my god. Speaking of horror games.
Horror.
And it's funny because we call ourselves a pop culture podcast. Speaking of pop, Funko Pop. Guess what's getting popped?
Can I throw him out the window?
No.
Is this okay?
Dead by Daylight is getting popped.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I love it.
Okay. They do have some cool characters, so I get it.
But maybe it'll extend to Dead by Daylight.
Do they want to make the trickster?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe it'll send to Dead by Daylight versions of the like DLC characters and stuff. Like I
hope so.
Because I feel like even if it's like a small difference, some of the characters do look slightly different than their normal versions. But I'm excited about that.
I am excited for the Resident Evil characters. It's either out or coming out very soon.
Leon and Jill and
Nemi.
I gotta buy Nemi. Me barely plays.
You buy just buy the whole pack. It never makes sense just to buy the little characters. Yeah. It's way more economical to buy the character pack.
Me barely plays.
It's still probably $10, but it's cheaper than.
Me barely plays Dead by Daylight. Also, me. I will buy all of the characters.
I still wish it was Claire. I know you love Jill.
Dare you? That was my first video game crush. Was Jill.
Leon was mine. I loved Leon. So I'm like thrilled about Leon.
Yeah.
But I love Leon and Claire. But I get it. They had an Emmy. Jill made sense.
Did you see? And I think it's a sequel to the remake. Evil Dead is getting a sequel, but Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell have a lot to do with this one.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see what that's going to look like. And I think it's going to be on a streaming service.
Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell work so well together.
Yeah.
Like, Sam Raimi really gets his, like, kind of humor and comedy.
So,
it really plays him up.
Ash versus the Evil Dead or the Army of Darkness? Ash versus the Evil Dead. Because Ash versus the Army of Darkness was the comic.
Okay.
From like a long time ago. Ash versus the Evil Dead, the show is amazing, and I love it.
Yeah. Did Sam Raimi do that one?
I think so.
Okay.
And Lucy Lawless was in it.
Yeah, because I mean, going back, way back in the day. Day. Sam Raimi, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Did they do the shows?
I don't know.
Like Xena and Hercules?
I don't know if Sam Raimi had anything to do with it, but Bruce Campbell was there.
Bruce Campbell was there. And obviously Lucy Lawless.
Sometimes that's all it takes is one of them to know the other.
Okay, hold on. You support the podcast. I'm going to Google.
There might be a new Guns N' Roses album with Slash. I'm very excited about that.
That's wild.
Growing up, Guns N' Roses was my all-time favorite band. And I was obsessed with Slash. Like, fucking obsessed.
Were you obsessed?
I was obsessed. But somebody was interviewing him. And
was The Unholy... This is so random, I'm so sorry. Was The Unholy the movie that Jeffrey Dean Morgan was in?
Maybe.
It's coming out 2021.
Yeah. That's that one. But somebody was interviewing Slash, and he was talking about how he was doing a bunch of demos for the new Guns N' Roses album. And I was like, hold the fuck up. I know y'all are on good terms now, but I did not know y'all were on that good of a term. But
I wonder how it's gonna go.
I don't know. Hopefully,
he made a short called The Attack of the Pillsbury Doughboy. Sam Raimi.
What?
Sam Raimi made a short called The Attack of the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Me too. I love that title. But in all of that, we also found out, and I think you can find it on YouTube now. I don't know if you can find the full thing, but we also found out that Slash did a song with Chester Bennington. And I guess it was called like Crazy or something. And he was talking about how originally he just had the guitar, and it was called like Super Fast something number 15 or something like that. And then he was like, and then Chester came in with the vocals, and it became a whole new song.
I'm still sad. That still makes me sad.
Yeah, it was a whole sad thing. He really was shook by the death of Chris Cornell.
Yes, by the way.
What?
He did not direct them, but he was the executive producer on both Xena and Hercules.
Interesting.
Xena? I have yet to see Xena, but definitely Hercules.
Hercules.
Which I feel like makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I think Bruce Campbell was more on Hercules than Xena.
Yeah.
He was a producer for Time Cop.
I love that movie. That's based on a comic too, did you know?
I did not. Did you know that's Jean-Claude Van Damme's favorite movie, favorite time travel? What did he say in that show?
My favorite time travel movie is Time Cop. Jean-Claude Van Damme, who used to be like a huge asshole, and like he could still
full
be.
of himself.
I don't know him personally, but
he took himself very seriously. Yeah. That's the best way to say it. And he did
a lot of like drugs and stuff, especially cocaine. But I guess he's clean now, and he's like making fun of himself. He has a show called Jean-Claude Van Johnson on Amazon. And like we still need to finish that.
Yeah, we do.
But
well, at first it was one of those. There was like a period where they're like, we're gonna release all these pilots, and you know, watch to figure out which ones we should greenlight. Essentially,
they ended up greenlighting both Tick and Jean-Claude Van Johnson.
I think everything that they did, they greenlit.
Yeah,
it was just a gimmick to get people to watch all of them.
But Jean-Claude Van Johnson is literally it's him making fun of himself, which I thought was amazing.
It was something he definitely needed because he had kind of the reputation that he couldn't have fun. Yeah,
and he was like, it was basically him playing himself, but he's also a secret agent. And like, he's like, during the day I'm an actor, and during the night I'm a secret agent on missions and stuff. And then he like, in the beginning, it's him and this girl, and they're like being attacked by a monster or something, and he kills the monster, and then she goes, "I love you, Tom Sawyer," and he says, "I love you too, Huckleberry Finn." And then there's a point where he's doing the special agent stuff, and he has to break into this facility, and then he sees a guy, and it's him playing both parts, but the guy looks exactly like him, and then he's like, "Who are you?" He's like, "I'm you from the future." And he goes, "If you are me from the future, what is my favorite time travel movie?" And he goes, "Looper?" And he said, "Ha, if you were really me from the future, you would know my favorite time travel movie is Time Cop."
He did make Xena too, or he was the executive producer on Xena too.
Cool.
Things that no one cares about but me.
Well, somebody. If you care about it, somebody else cares about it.
But I'm like, I just remember I grew up and I watched those shows every Saturday night, and it was so fun.
Xena was really cool. I remember the animated movie for Xena and Hercules together.
I never saw that.
It was so weird. Mm-hmm. Because the only thing I remember is the monsters going boom shaka laka laka boom shaka laka boom shaka, and I don't know why. And I would get it mixed up with like real Disney Hercules, and I'd be like,
"Where's that part?"
Yeah, where's that part? And then I'd be like, "Oh yeah, that was in the Xena Hercules cartoon."
How weird!
It was so fucking weird. We rented that once and never rented it again.
I don't even, like I said, my whole experience had to do with whatever came on Saturday nights.
It's Saturday night.
It was the big lineup, right? It was Xena and Hercules.
Yeah.
And then there was, I think it was like Jack of all trades or something like that.
What? Maybe. I don't know.
That might have been Bruce Campbell again. I'm not sure. And then Cleopatra 2525. We're so close. Why is it nothing like Cleopatra 2525 right now? Wait, 2525 is so stupid. We're not in 25.
We're not close.
Whoops.
We're 500 years off.
504 years
off.
Whoops. We're so close. What do you mean?
So close. No, but we should have had a lot of future things by now.
Back to the Future says we should have flying cars already.
A lot of the 90s movies were like in 2000.
When? That's 10 years away, bud.
And in the 80s. Oh my god. I'll never forget. I was like really out of it. I think I was sick. So I was like loopy. And I put in, I want to say, it was either Escape from New York or LA, but I think it was Escape from New York. Mm-hmm. And it starts out, and I'm super fucking loopy. I'm super sick, so I'm like not mentally there. And I'm watching it, and it was 2012 when I put it in, and I had never seen this movie before. And it goes, in the year 2012. I was like, oh god, no!
Check outside.
Oh no! I don't want this to happen! Oh my god. But the funny thing about that movie is I was watching Kevin Smith talk on Jay and Silent Bob Get Old, and he was talking about how he was talking to Neil Gaiman, and he was like, wouldn't it be funny if there was like a prison island or whatever, and Neil Gaiman was like, America was a prison thing. That's where they took the prisoners. That movie is real.
Makes sense.
And he was like, in Australia too, is where they dropped off their prisoners.
Yep.
Wild. Neil Gaiman's too smart. He's too smart a dude.
Did he make that?
No, he's just a smart dude.
Okay, he's just smart.
He's really intelligent. Like,
oh, I know.
Every story someone has about interacting with him, he's always dropping knowledge on motherfuckers.
Well, that's how you... I was about to say that's how you rank good. That's how you're a good writer, though.
Yeah.
You have to have a lot of knowledge about a lot of things, because then you can kind of make take things and piece them together and make a new story.
Yeah. You know what freaks me out sometimes?
What?
When voice actors look exactly...
I know, isn't that weird? Sometimes it's intentional.
Yeah.
But...
I don't know if this was intentional.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the whole story of, like, the show, like, were the characters drawn before the voice actors were found or after. But I watched an interview recently, and for the first time in, like, years, long fucking time, since the show ended, Ed, and Eddie, the voice actors, came on. And it freaked me out because they looked so much like they would the real life versions of the characters.
Yeah.
Especially Eddie, who is just as short and looks like Eddie.
That's funny.
And it was so weird. I don't know if they were just drawn after, because I guess back in the day, Eddie's voice actor did have spiked up hair.
Huh. Really?
So, I don't know if that had something to do.
That's crazy.
But, it's so weird because the others, I think, went on to, like, voice more roles and stuff. He literally went, I don't want to do this anymore, and he's like a dedicated construction worker. He loves his job. He went
off, I guess.
He went to a school to learn how to operate the heavy machinery, and he, like, loves doing that. He doesn't want to do anything else. And he was talking about how he would never do the interview if the other two were not on.
Yeah.
And he was like,
that makes sense.
Yeah. And they all three, just in real life, sounded like real versions of the characters.
That's so wild.
It was amazing. Yes.
I know, I'm thinking.
Did I ruin your train of thought?
No.
Okay.
I've ruined my train of thought a long time ago.
No.
Anyway, go on.
Okay. We watched the Friends reunion.
Oh, we did. I cried.
Me too.
I cried so much.
It was emotional.
It was.
It was amazing, and, like, I did not hate David Schwimmer while watching it.
Yeah.
He just seems like a douche.
See, and I've heard mixed things, right? Because I follow that Dumois, right? And I've heard good stories about him where they've had really positive experiences, and I've heard, bad stories. So basically, what I've summed it up to, he's just a human being. Yeah,
from what I saw from that reunion, he's not. At least from what I saw, he's not an asshole. No. He's just weird and awkward, which I'm weird and awkward, and I'm sure a lot of people think I'm an asshole. Yeah. But... Not that they think you're an asshole. Yeah. But, no, I know what you're saying. Yeah, but, it was very emotional, and poor Matt Perry got, like, 0 of the questions. Yeah, he very much had to fall into, like, the Chandler role, and just... sarcastic remarks. Yeah. Which is, I mean, that's the humor we loved, right? Well, the funny thing was... But I was like, I'm sure he has thoughts and opinions about the show. The funny thing was, the whole thing is they were very much the characters they played. Yeah, that was really funny. It was insane. And then we learned that, like, they originally wanted to cast Courtney Cox as Rachel, and she said, no, I'm Monica. And then she listed out why she was Monica, and then they went, "Yep, you're Monica." And I was like, "Yeah, you can tell she gives off that vibe." Well, she really brought that character to life.
Yeah, and she made Monica someone you would like, because very easily Monica could be a character you were just like,
Yeah, and it's like, definitely check out that reunion if you have HBO Max, because
if you loved, I guess if you watched Friends growing up and you enjoyed it, I wouldn't even say you have to go so far as you loved it, but it definitely, I don't know, it was a good, like, kind of throwback, and brought everyone together, and just to see them, like, vibe together or whatever.
Yeah.
They really do have, like, the connection you'd want them to have, I guess. And that you watching the show was just as enjoyable for them to make the show.
Yeah. And, I mean, it was very eye-opening. A lot of things were very eye-opening about the whole experience. And, however you feel about Friends or whatever, no show has ever really gone through what Friends went through. Like, Friends was huge.
It was like the first, I would say it's like the first show that really had that big kind of following, right?
And everyone was obsessed with all of the main characters, not just like one.
Right.
Everyone was obsessed with
because I would say there's
everybody.
definitely shows now where that's kind of continued. And they do get the same kind of, like, paparazzi treatment or whatever. It's few and far between. But like, it happens. Like, if we go to, like, Game of Thrones, right? They kind of got that same vibe.
Like, Matt LeBlanc was saying they had aerial views
creepy.
Of
that
all
was
6 of their houses.
That was a weird growing pains thing. Because, like, could you imagine today someone, like, doxing someone's address for, like an entertainment company doing it intentionally? Like, that just seems so crazy.
And then, like, the finale, it was like, what did they say, like 50 million people tuned into the finale?
I know we were one of them.
I know, me too.
Because me and my mom, every Thursday, we would watch Friends, and then we'd watch SmackDown.
Oh my god. But they brought back up the ending, and I cried.
Oh my god.
We watched that fucking reunion 3 times, because we watched it again with her mom, and then we watched it again with her grandparents, and every time it gets to the part where Rachel says, I got off the plane, and I fucking teared up every time.
I got off the plane.
It was sad. I mean, it wasn't sad, but it was emotional.
Yeah.
And then in the reunion, you get a lot of behind the scenes looks. Mm-hmm. And, like, them writing jokes on the fly.
Yeah, they were talking about how if, they filmed it in front of a live studio audience. I think they say that before every episode.
Yeah.
If they wrote a joke and it didn't, like, hit with the audience, if nobody laughed, whatever, they would go on the fly and rework the joke so it would be funny to the audience and they would get that genuine laugh, right? That's just fascinating to me, because that's a lot of pressure to put on right on the spot.
And apparently, Matt Perry had extreme anxiety issues that he wasn't dealing with.
Not at all.
He didn't even tell anyone.
He didn't tell anyone. He just said he would, like, literally go into, like, convulsions if stressing out about whether or not he'd get a laugh.
Yeah. Which is probably why.
And I'm like, it's not even your fault. If they're sitting there reworking the joke to make it funny, it's not your fault.
Yeah.
And if he maybe would have talked to someone about it, they could have helped him and went, it's not you.
Yeah. And I think that's probably played into him having a drug addiction.
Yeah, because if he's not coping with that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
It goes back to, well, he's going to use other things to cope, and then you fall down that rabbit hole.
But it was a very good...
Yeah, if you liked Friends at all, like...
Give it a watch.
Watch it. If you weren't a person that watched Friends, like, it's not going to do anything for you. It's not going to make you go, man, I really like and understand the show. It's for the people that liked it.
Yeah.
But, because I think some people were going in watching, they didn't really care for Friends, whatever, and they went in and I don't think it provided any new, like, enlightenment.
No.
It was just to revisit something you already loved or enjoyed.
Yeah. And, like, I was very impressed with their take on, like, because they had James Cordon on there, which I don't understand why you needed a famous host. Just have a host to move things along and help them facilitate things or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyways, he asked if they would ever do like another episode or a movie or whatever, and I was impressed with their take.
I really liked that answer.
And they were just like, no, we wrapped it up nicely, and
everybody got their happy ending, essentially.
How I Met Your Mother.
Uh-huh. Now, I continue to go back to that because they had the moment. They had that moment to get that happy ending. In fact, they showed it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they did exactly what they said, and they had to unravel, right, the happy ending. Barney and Robin splitting up, right? Ted was with the mom.
Mm-hmm.
The only one that really didn't have anything super change was Marshall and Lily.
Yeah.
They had to unravel those happy endings to shove Ted and Robin back together.
Which is stupid. That was like a bad fan fiction.
I think everybody was okay that Ted and Robin didn't end up together.
Yeah.
Like, they had built it up, and I was like, I really loved Barney and Robin's relationship, what they built it up to be.
Yeah.
They both kind of grew.
Yeah.
And it was good. And then Ted and the mom, right? I was like, great, we love to see it. Ted found someone that's actually on the same path or whatever.
Yeah.
Wanted the same things. Awesome. Great. Love that. But then when they went, well, it was basically like taking two puzzle pieces and then shoving them together to make Ted and Robin be the end game.
So stupid.
I would have been
upset about that. That was such a good show up until that point.
Mm-hmm. It's like Game of Thrones. It makes it hard to rewatch when I know what we're building up to.
Yeah. TIL. Today I learned.
Okay.
Pat Boone, who we know for some reason, but we have no idea why. An old singer.
Mm-hmm. I think I know him because of my grandpa, but yeah.
I don't have anyone in my family that's like Pat Boone, yes. So I don't know why I know him. But anyways, had a metal cover album where he sings it like Pat Boone called In a Metal Mood, No More Mr. Nice Guy.
It was amazing. There was like Holy Diver on there and what
Crazy
else?
Train.
Yep.
And Smoke on the Water. And Enter Sandman, which was
my god, yeah.
He's a very Vegas-y sounding kind of guy.
Yeah, I think he did do like a residency.
And Enter Sandman in a Vegas-y tone was interesting.
I mean, I imagine he had to do No More Mr. Nice Guy too.
He did do that, yes. But I learned that, and now you have to. You're welcome.
That was so weird.
Go listen to it. It's amazing.
I think he was on some commercial, right?
Yeah,
and I was like, let me look it up.
A commercial about like retirement or something. Yeah.
And so I was like, what did he do? Because we both knew the name, but I was like, I couldn't name a song, but I know he's a singer.
I still don't know any of his famous songs.
Nope, I know his metal cover album. That's it.
That was amazing. What about, we were talking about this earlier, shows that are ruined by shitty people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you can't, it's so hard.
What was the show we were talking about?
That 70s show.
Yeah.
When,
it's so hard for me, because Hyde was one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
Hyde was like my favorite character.
Yeah, same.
And now that all that stuff, it was Danny Masterson, right?
Yeah, Danny Masterson.
Okay. I can never remember
it's
which
super
one
upsetting.
was which.
And I'm wondering, like, not that, siblings.
What was his brother's name?
Christopher,
that's right.
I don't know anything about his family, and, like, you hope that...
I also don't know, is his brother even in Scientology? Or did Danny Masterson
maybe
just
he
join?
was briefly, but I don't know.
I don't know.
But, And then don't they have another brother? Isn't there other brother in Last Man Standing? Isn't that Ryan?
Know. Oh, I don't know.
I could be wrong, but anyways, I just hope that Christopher Masterson is not as shitty as his brother, which why would he be? But because he's my favorite character in Malcolm in the Middle.
Yep.
But it's hard. Like, you want to separate the art from the artists, or you want to separate the person from the show and whatever it is you like. And sometimes it's hard, man.
You are 100% right. Yes, it's his other brother is Ryan on Last Man Standing.
Because I
had no idea.
I remember seeing a picture of all three of them together, and I was like, "Why are all three of those people together?" I had no idea that Christopher Masterson was Danny Masterson's brother. But then there's like I loved Empire, and now I'm just really concerned about freaking what's his name?
And then their sister. I'm so sorry. I fell down the Masterson sibling rabbit hole. Elena Masterson was Tara on Walking Dead.
Oh my god. What is his name? He says Maine a lot. He was the original roadie in Iron Man. He's like the main guy in Empire. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name.
He went a little cuckoo.
Yeah, he went crazy. He started talking about like opening the world flower or something, and I was like, bro,
are you okay?
Is you good? But like now, if I go back and try to watch an Empire episode, all I can see is him saying weird shit. But I like Terrence Howard.
There.
I like all the roles he's done. But I'm concerned about his culty behavior.
Yeah. And then it had something to do with math. Whatever his was, he was like doing like...
All I remember is him talking about world flower and opening your eyes.
Yeah.
And seeing in like another dimension or something. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the math
and
he
that show
was talking about was some sort of like...
I don't know if they're still doing the show or they went on with the show, but like it was going so good where I was. Like Chris Rock showed up as a villain, but it was like super interesting. It was going places, and I'll admit, like I ended up putting it down for a little bit and going to watch other things. But now it's like weird.
Yeah, it definitely ruins things when you're like.
And you think about that 70s show, that was a huge chunk of our lives because it was a lot of seasons, too.
Yeah, it ran for a good long while.
Yeah. And everyone liked Hyde as far as I could tell.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's sad when you learn that the people who played your favorite characters are dicks.
Yep.
The worst people.
Yep. I'm like, I don't want to watch... It will be very hard for me to watch it and not be able to... I mean, especially with everything so recent. Yeah. I think when we talked about it before, that's kind of where I was with... When it's something that's, like, very recent, right? It's very hard to look at that person and not separate everything you're reading about in the news at that time. So, maybe with time, you can kind of separate the character from the actor.
Yeah.
But when it's also fresh, you're like...
Yeah. It's rough, man.
No likey.
No likey. But yeah.
But
that's about all I got.
Okay, I'm trying to think.
We can.
There's anything exciting that happened
just
in my brain this week
for me.
Yeah.
That was most exciting. That was the highlight of my week, was beating that game.
Well, it was very good.
Yeah.
So I get that.
That was amazing. It blew my mind. If you go back on my Twitch, twitch.tv/Mr. Coin Laundry.
Linked below.
If you go back on my Twitch, it's recorded, which I didn't know it was recording. The microphone picked me up while I was using the bathroom, so sorry about that.
I think it was only that one time.
I don't know. I'd have to go back and look.
Yeah, I suppose.
But anytime I'm going on a break, just be forewarned, you might hear something.
It's towards the end of the game, too. So that's why I'm like, it wouldn't be shocking if you forgot. Because it was so late.
Yeah.
It was so late. It wouldn't be that shocking if you forgot to, like, unplug it and then go.
Yeah.
Or maybe you just need to use the mute button more than the unplugging, so then you don't have to worry about it.
I was drinking a lot of soda, and I had to go to the bathroom a lot. But you know what? Everyone goes to the bathroom, so fuck you.
Or then I offered, or you could just close the door, because our bathroom is connected to our bedroom, right?
Yeah.
So it's not that far away. So I'm like, or you could just, I don't know, close the door.
Yeah.
That could work too.
I'm sorry to anyone who hears that, but
he had to go.
when you get to,
At least you weren't pooping.
well, yeah, that's true.
That would have been worse.
That would have been horrible. When you get to, like, if you watch it and you get to the credits, it's just like a half hour, not a half hour, that's an exaggeration, like 15 minutes maybe of me going, oh my god, wow, what the fuck.
Well, make it through the credits, because there's an after.
Yeah.
It's like a Marvel movie. There's an after the credits scene.
After the credits scene. They wrapped it up and did like a whole scene thing, and then there's an after credit scene after everything.
Yeah, I mean, what a good game.
It was so good. It was such a, like, emotional game, too, that it's like, I don't think I can just go back and replay it right now. I need some time.
Yeah. But a lot of people were. They were, like, running back, right back. They like, loved it.
I love it, too. It's one of my favorite games now, and it's definitely my favorite horror game. And it tops all the other Resident Evils, without a doubt.
So you like it more than Until Dawn? Because I know that was, like, a big one.
Yeah, I do. Because Until Dawn was an amazing game, too.
Mm-hmm.
And I also needed time after that.
Yeah.
Because it was a whole thing.
I'm so...
But
especially...
it's just like, I need to emotionally process all of that.
Until Dawn was a hard one for me because there was a lot of, like, QuickTime events.
Yeah.
I hate QuickTime events. My brain does not think that quickly.
When I was a kid...
If it was a slow time event, great.
When I was a youngin', we had a game called Shenmue 2.
A young boy?
When I was a young boy. We had a game called Shenmue 2. And QuickTime events was, like, not new, but it was a staple of the Shenmue series, and they were kind of like introducing that kind of thing, and so it was very QuickTime.
Oh, I definitely played games with QuickTime events, but it was a bitch.
But I played
me to get through it because my brain just went.
I played that game so many times that I just got used to doing QuickTime events.
My brain turns into an engine that won't turn over and just stalls.
The thing that fucks me up is when you're supposed to set the controller down and sit still. But I go to set my controller down right when it starts, and it fucks everything up, and I'm upset.
Those were the worst things they've ever invented.
And it's like, if I breathe wrong, the controller moves slightly, and it fucks everything. Because, like, the last time I played Until Dawn, I almost saved literally everyone, and then it got to the very end, and it was like the last QuickTime event thing ever, and you were supposed to just sit still. And, like, I breathed wrong or something, and the controller moved slightly, and my favorite character got fucking killed. I was so mad. I was so upset. I was like, I don't even want to look at Until Dawn ever again.
Yeah, I think that was more why you were didn't want to play it again. But I remember when, like, Heavy Rain came out.
Yeah. God, I saved everyone except for Jaden, I think, because I think he died right at the end.
That's cute. I kept playing it until I saved everyone. I did not accept a death. I was like, nope, we're going to reload this save and go back.
Nom and Jaden. And then I think I accidentally killed the killer.
Yeah.
But I had no idea he was the killer, and then I learned he was the killer, and I was like, good, fuck him.
Yeah. Hate him.
Heavy Rain was an amazing game.
Heavy Rain, for the longest time, was probably my favorite game.
Yeah. But this game, like, just the... Good on Resident Evil. I say it every time. Good on Resident Evil for being like, okay, we don't just do zombies, okay? We have other things. And so...
Especially, it's always been like a bio weapon that's done it, so why wouldn't there be other, like,
and like,
genetic
of course
testing?
they've had, like, little bosses and stuff. It's like, it's a giant spider, or it's a giant monster, or whatever, but mostly the enemies have been zombies. And this one is like, there's lichens, there's zombies, there's, what was the other creature?
Mechy monsters.
Huh?
Mechy monsters.
Yeah, mechy monsters, and there's like, the bosses are all their own thing. It's like almost their own game. Lady Dimitrescu, a vampire lady with 3 vampire daughters, and Heisenberg was a mechanical mad scientist, and the fish man, like Moreau, which I just now caught that reference. Dr. Moreau, the island of Dr. Moreau, was a whole like, it was an old horror movie.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
But anyways, he was a fish man, and then there was the puppet lady, and that was a whole thing.
I hate dolls.
Me too.
I hate those little porcelain-y dolls.
Yeah.
They're meant to be creepy. I don't care what anyone ever said. Whoever made the first one went, ah, yes, a nightmare, and hung it on a shelf.
But I'm so proud, like I'm their father. I'm so proud of Capcom for pulling this together, expanding, doing horrors, and not just zombies.
Yeah.
Not that I have anything against, like before this, Resident Evil 3
it was looking
favorite.
pretty bleak with 6. Was it 6?
6, I think, is the one no one liked.
Yep. It was 5 was definitely just an action game.
Yeah.
It had some, like, jumpy things, but mostly it was an action game.
Yeah.
And then 6 was just, it was okay. It was just, it wasn't fun. I mean, it was fun.
Yeah.
I'm with peace and love.
With peace and love.
it was just not as fun as the other one.
Yeah.
When I don't have trouble with the game, I know it's easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not good at shooty games, so, like, if I'm not having trouble with it, I can imagine people not liking it.
That's kind of like how I was feeling. Like, I enjoyed Doom, and I enjoyed what I was playing. I was playing Doom Eternal on stream before I streamed Resident Evil 8 yesterday. But I was like, this... I know I had it on easy mode, but I was like, this is, like, badass simulator, and I don't know if that's what I want to play right now.
Yeah. Oh, there's probably a time and a place.
Yeah.
But 6 just didn't have enough of the stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of like they lost their way for a little bit, and then they made it back.
Huge spoiler alert. Spoiler alert for Resident Evil 8. Okay, guys? It's just going to be like a few seconds of me spoiling this. I'm not really spoiling any plot points, but spoiler alert for funny dialogue. Heisenberg was talking about taking you out, and Chris, but instead of saying Chris, he said, and that boulder punching asshole. So he referenced 5 in the most hilarious way. Anyways, that was my spoiler.
Okay.
But, did you have any stories for story time?
I don't think so.
I just have like a small one. I don't have
Okay.
like a celebrity one this time, but I do have other celebrity ones, but I figure I'll pace them out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Think back, if you will, as your young self, when you were told in schools by DARE, adults may come up to you and ask to sell you drugs. Be careful. Be careful with that. And you're like, that's not going to happen. That's just not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I was a kid, we lived in this apartment complex. My dad became really good friends with one of our neighbors in the same building. But his name was Tyler. And he was just like, he wasn't like a redneck, but he was kind of sort of a rednecky kind of guy.
He was cosplaying as a redneck.
He was cosplaying as a redneck, but he was super funny. But one day I was just like chilling out on the stairs. It's like a 2-story apartment building, and they're like outside stairs and everything. And I was chilling out on the stairs in front of Tyler's apartment, and I didn't think anything of it. I didn't even think he was home. But he's apparently, like, I'm sitting on the stairs and I just hear, "Hey kid, you want some drugs?" And like, me being a little kid, I'm like 8 or 9 at this point, I sprinted to my apartment and like ran into the door, slammed the door, and like my dad's like, "What the fuck are you doing? What's wrong with you?" And then like Tyler opens the door and comes in, and he's like laughing so hard he's in tears because it was him messing with me, and I took off sprinting. But yeah,
That's amazing.
that's my story for the...
See, again, too trusting.
I am very trusting. Or was very trusting.
He trolled you.
He trolled me.
He trolled you so hard.
He did.
So did Dare, apparently, because I've never had someone walk up to me and go, "You want to buy some drugs?"
Oh, yeah. But yeah.
Still wanted that shirt. Don't care.
I just went to pencils for some reason. I was
That's
like,
funny.
cool,
I remember
it's
the pencils.
personalized pencils.
Adorable.
Anyways, that was my story for the podcast this time.
Love that. All ties back to RuneScape and you trusting these people.
You trusted these people.
Gosh. I thought I should have wrote it down.
What?
I thought of something to shout out
Oh, yeah.
and I don't remember.
I'm trying to think of shout-outs right now because we've shouted out, like, a lot of things.
Yes, we have.
And Ice Cube apparently doesn't make the
I had
cut.
a really good one. I mean, I'll throw Ice Cube on there if we can't think of anything. But I just figured he didn't need our help.
Well, none of these people really need our help.
Ela and Ethan,
Yeah.
they having a baby.
They're having a baby.
That's exciting.
The H3 podcast.
So, shout out them.
Shout out to
I feel like everybody's happy for them.
Yeah. We shouted out our friends' businesses last time.
Yep.
Shout out to all of you.
Yeah.
For listening to our podcasts.
We big preach.
We big preach.
We big preach.
Um,
And we're so excited when we see you guys interact with it.
yeah.
It's like such a little happy moment in our day.
Yeah. It really is. I don't think I have anything else to shout out or any other stories to tell.
Yeah. I mean, shout out your comic.
Shout out my comic, my webcomic,
I know.
Squeegee TPIC.
I know you're working on the next one.
I'm trying so hard to get it done.
I think you're close, right?
I think so, but you know how that goes.
New case soonish.
Yeah, hopefully.
Probably in the next few weeks, anyway.
I hope next week, but you know.
I'm being generous.
I know.
I'm not putting the pressure on next few weeks.
My day job really takes up a lot of time.
Zaps your energy for
Yeah.
the evening.
So it's frustrating.
Yeah.
But I'm working on it.
You got this, baby.
Thank you.
Okay.
But thank you guys for listening. I think that's all we got this time.
That's all she wrote.
That's all she wrote. Murder she wrote. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Love to you all. And have a wonderful week until we talk to you again.
I just want to have fun with my loved ones.
Thank you, Ice Cube. Alright, bye guys.
Bye.